Hello there everyone, my name is Emilio, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm just going to show you the movies that I have bought recently. I've been buying a lot of movies, and instead of making like a whole 20, 30, maybe 40-minute video of showing you all the movies that I bought, I'm going to make different videos, and they're all going to have like different themes, you know. So the theme of this video is going to be 2000s superhero Marvel films. That's what the theme of this video is going to be. I wouldn't consider the movies I'm about to show you like the best of that era. When you think of superhero movies that came out in the 2000s, you think of movies like The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, you know, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, the X-Men trilogy. Those movies were regarded as the movies that kind of paved the way for what superhero movies could be. The movies I'm going to show you are movies that were either trashed by critics or rebooted, or just didn't really, I guess, resonate with audiences in the zeitgeist of pop culture. But I'm kind of really nostalgic for that era of superhero movies, and I kind of want to start collecting them and start revisiting them. And I'm going to start with the first movies I'm about to show you, which are the Fantastic Four films. I have Fantastic Four, well, the first one right here that came out in 2005, and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Now, I haven't seen these movies in years, probably a decade and a half. I was like 10 years old when the first movie came out back in 2005, and I really liked it. It had some cool action scenes, some cool sci-fi moments. One thing I will say, the best thing about the Fantastic Four films is honestly Chris Evans, before he was Captain America, as the Human Torch, and Michael Chiklis as the Thing. They are the best characters in this, what could have been like a great Fantastic Four franchise. Of course, John Gruffalo as Reed Richards he's also doing a good job. It's just that they don't really give him like enough material. He's really good. He's great. It's just that these two I feel like are the standouts. And Jessica Alba, she also does a really good job, but I don't think the filmmakers casted Jessica Alba for her acting. I think they casted her for other reasons. Anyways, let me just go ahead and say that as a kid, I actually really enjoyed these films. I remember watching the Fantastic Four in 2005 in the movie theater with my family. Really enjoying it. It's nothing crazy, but it was a fun, entertaining sci-fi action movie. And you have Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. The standout of this movie is, of course, the Silver Surfer. I love the Silver Surfer in this movie. He is so cool, and it's so fun to watch his flying scenes, especially when the Human Torch is trying to chase the Silver Surfer. And you got Dr. Doom, who is the main villain in both of these films, played by, man, I forget the name of that actor. He just passed away recently, but he does a really good job in the movie. Now, I will say, I think the things that suffer from these two films is that the writing isn't as good as other movies. These are fun, entertaining sci-fi action movies. They're kind of like popcorn movies, but they're not like, they don't have the same level of storytelling or writing that, say, the Christopher Nolan movies have or Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies do. But they're still really fun and they're really entertaining. And like I said, I'm mostly buying these movies because I'm kind of nostalgic for this era of Marvel and this era of superhero movies, and I kind of want to start revisiting them because I haven't seen these films in quite a long time. So yeah, these were the first movies that I bought. Here is another here's another batch of movies that I bought, which are the Punisher films. I bought Punisher, the first one that has Thomas Jane, who plays the Punisher, of course, Frank Castle, and the main villain of the movie is John Travolta. And of course, I also bought Punisher Warzone. Before I talk about Punisher Warzone, I just want to say this. I love the first Punisher movie. I love this movie. I gotta say, as a kid, I was a complete wuss. My cousin tried showing me this movie, but I was too much of a bitch. Because I didn't like watching R-rated stuff as a kid. I didn't like violent movies, but man, as soon as I became probably like 10, 11, 12, that's when I really started watching R-rated action movies. And I really dig this movie. It's a pretty fun, cool, badass film. Thomas Jane is personally, in my opinion, my favorite Punisher. He's the one that introduced me to the character. And Thomas Jane, in my opinion, is just an underrated actor. He should have been like one of those next action stars. Like, I don't know why Vin Diesel, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Jason Statham, those are all, well, Jason Statham I like. And The Rock at the time used to make some cool action movies, but he really doesn't make action movies anymore. But Thomas Jane is legit a really good actor. And you can tell he's a person who gives a shit about acting. He's not just like a actor phoning it in. Underrated actor, and he does a good job as a Punisher. Of course he's a complete badass, but he gives this, like, I don't know, humanity to the Punisher. Now, I don't know if that's like a criticism, because I guess some people could argue that this movie, The Punisher is like The Punisher Light. Then we get into Punisher Warzone, which is a movie made by I think a completely different team, and it stars Ray Stevenson, who plays I guess what you could argue is maybe a more comic accurate version of the Punisher. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I've never read a Punisher comic book. Sue me. But I remember watching this and thinking it was a really cool movie. I didn't watch this movie in the movie theater, but my cousin showed me a copy of it when he owned the DVD, and I thought it was pretty good. It's entertaining. You have Ray Stevens, who does a really great job as the Punisher. I forget the name of the actor who comes out in The Wire, who started playing villains in movies like 300. He also plays the villain in this movie. What does he play? Jigsaw or some shit. But this movie, I guess, when this movie came out, I think this movie was pretty much just trashed by critics. People just said that it was... I just remember the movie came out. This movie came out in 2008 when we had superhero movies like The Dark Knight, Iron Man, Hellboy 2. Punisher Warzone kind of just came and went, and critics trashed it. And I mean, I never saw it in the theater, and I haven't seen this movie ever since my cousin showed it to me, which is already a long time ago now. But I've kind of been wanting to revisit this movie. Also, for some reason, around like 2000, from 2005 to like 2010, Hollywood was making a lot of like over-the-top hardcore, hard R action movies that just had a lot of violence and gore. And this is one of them. And that's kind of why I bought it, because I've kind of been wanting to watch cool action movies like that. Also, one thing I gotta say about this movie, Punisher Warzone, is that this movie was ahead of its time, alright? First superhero movie directed by a female filmmaker. Yes, this movie is directed by, what's her name? It says it right here. Lexi Alexander. Lexi Alexander is a really underrated filmmaker. She made a really cool action movie, which is this, and she also made a really great movie, which is Green Street Hooligans, with Elijah Wood and that guy from... what's that motorcycle show? Sons of Anarchy. I think that's the name of the movie. I haven't seen that movie in years, but hey, this movie, ahead of its time, has a female director making a movie. So yeah, ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time, but people hated it. So whatever. Anyways, I can't wait to revisit this one because I'm very nostalgic for this film, and I really can't wait to watch this movie again. I haven't seen this movie in years. I'm gonna see it with fresh eyes, and I'm just very nostalgic and miss cool, gritty, dark action movies. So that's why I bought these films. Now here are the last two movies that I'm going to show you. I saved these for last. These are pretty much the movies that I'm actually really excited to revisit. And that is, these two movies are both like standalone movies, but they're both collected. But they're both basically connected to one another. And that is the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie that came out in 2003 and the follow-up, which is Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner, who also plays Elektra in this film. First off, let me go ahead and say I love Daredevil 2003. I love this movie. I know it's not a perfect movie. I know it's a mess, but my cousin took me and my brother to go see this movie in the movie theater, and I remember just really enjoying this movie. I liked the story of what's his name, Matt Murdock. I love the story. I like the origin story. I also like the look and feel and tone of this movie. This movie came out in 2003, but it still feels like a movie that it has all this like grunge and like rock music in the background. It has this weird look that it just feels like a gritty, dark superhero movie. It doesn't feel like X-Men. It doesn't feel like Spider-Man. This movie kind of feels like The Punisher. It's like a dark, gritty movie, and I just really like it. Ben Affleck also does a really good job. Jennifer Garner is a great actress, but dude, I had a huge crush. I still do have a huge crush on Jennifer Garner. I love Jennifer Garner, like, as in, as a kid, one of those celebrities that you kind of like low-key have a crush on. Anytime you see her on TV or on screen, your heart just kind of like, I don't know, stops for a minute. Yeah, that's Jennifer Garner. So I really love this movie. Also, what Colin Farrell does a great job as Bullseye. It might not be comic accurate, but Colin Farrell is legit doing a great job in this movie. You also have, Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin. Also doing a really good job. I think this movie was completely destroyed by movie critics. I think it's a lot more better than people give it credit for. And also, this is the director's cut. The director's cut is a way better version of the film. Also, Jon Favreau is in this movie. So you got Jon Favreau before he went on to make the first Iron Man film. So yeah, really underrated superhero movie in my opinion. And I had to also buy Elektra. And I'm really glad that one thing I noticed is that I've been buying a lot of used movies recently. I didn't expect to get these movies in brand new packaging, which is just Punisher, Warzone, and Elektra. So that was pretty cool. But I got Daredevil, and I had to get Elektra. Now, I did not watch this movie in the movie theater, but as a kid, I remember seeing the trailer for this movie. In fact, I believe this movie also came out in 2005, the same year as Fantastic Four, and I think they showed a preview for this film for during the Fantastic Four. I was never able to see it. I don't think my parents took me to see it. But dude, what can I say? I like Jennifer Garner. Also, I think she does a good job with the material she's given. Is this comic accurate? No, but I kind of like this movie. Jennifer Garner, bro. She does a good job in this movie. She's basically an assassin, but she has to kill like this father and daughter, but she doesn't want to, and she starts befriending them, and they start doing this whole surrogate family storyline. It's a fun movie. It's entertaining. It has some good action scenes. I kind of have a crush on Jennifer Garner, and anytime this movie was on TV, I kind of had to watch it. And they don't really make superhero movies like this anymore. I mean, there is a reason why, all right? We had Iron Man. We started getting, movies like Captain America. But I don't, like, once we got to the 2010s, you have Iron Man. And then you have the whole Avengers, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All that was great, but I kind of felt like in the 2000s there was a lot of room for studios to make movies that were not experimental, but they were different and they weren't like generic. And these movies kind of set the standard for what superhero movies will be in the 2010s. Now, like I said, these movies aren't the best of this era, but they're really fun and they're really entertaining, and that's why I bought these films. Anyways, I think this is the end of this video. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and please let me know in the comment section what superhero movie in the 2000s do you like that you find underrated. Maybe you like movies like Ang Lee's Hulk. That's also a movie that I've been meaning to get. I haven't gotten it because, I don't know, I haven't found it at half-price books recently. But yeah, let me know, what is a superhero movie that you think is underrated, or you think it was misunderstood by critics, or it's just a movie that you like and you're just really nostalgic for that is a superhero film. Please let me know. Anyways, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, get